Howdy y'all and welcome. Hope everybody's having a great holiday season so far and is thawing out from this most recent Arctic blast we came in on this past weekend. And of course, the other threat we got to worry about mainly in the northwest is this atmospheric river that's supposed to be lasting all the way through Christmas time and potentially through the end of the month. Now, if you do live up in the northwest, you most likely have already heard about a second levee failure in Washington as this latest atmospheric river slammed into the state just days after some historic flooding. Now, of course, this was the warm front side of the atmospheric river, and there's still the cold front that's supposed to be coming through, which is going to be dumping a lot of snowfall and freezing over that rain that's already been occurring. And any sort of precipitation that fell is going to be freezing over. And you can see that there's a high risk of heavy snow predicted along the Klamath Range and Sierra Nevada through Christmas time, and a moderate risk of heavy snows indicated for these areas, shifting north to the Cascades later in the period, in addition to the Northern Rockies for the entirety of week 2. And on top of that, there's going to be some high winds too, so definitely going to be some very treacherous conditions through the end of the month. And what are atmospheric rivers? If you do not know what they are, I'm sure most of y'all know what they are by now, but as a refresher, basically atmospheric river is a flowing column of condensed water vapor in the atmosphere responsible for producing significant levels of rain and snow, especially in the western part of the country. Now, these are pretty common this time of year. When atmospheric rivers move inland and sweep over the mountains, the water vapor rises and cools to create heavy precipitation, though many atmospheric rivers are weak systems that simply provide beneficial rain or snow. Some of the larger, more powerful atmospheric rivers can create extreme rainfall and floods, which is happening now, capable of disrupting travel, inducing mudslides, and causing catastrophic damage to life and property. And we can see the different categories of atmospheric rivers. We have a scale from 1 to 5. They're basically like hurricanes in a way, but a little bit weaker. AR1 is beneficial and AR5 is primarily hazardous, so most likely we are in AR5 currently, which is expected to last all the way through the end of the month. And we can see also on average about 30 to 50% of annual precipitation comes from these atmospheric rivers. And as we take a look at the National Weather Service alert map here, we can see additional storm systems are set to impact the Pacific Northwest, as well as lake effect snow continuing here near Lake Ontario, as a lake effect snow warning is in effect. And of course, a second Pacific cold front will cross the Pacific Northwest by Wednesday, followed by another atmospheric river. Each of these will bring additional periods of gusty winds, mountain snow, and even heavy to excessive rain with a renewed flooding threat, which could result in more levee failures and mudslides and just problematic conditions out there. And you can see anything from winter storm warnings to high wind warnings to flood warnings, got it all up here in the Pacific Northwest, which is just going to be bringing a whole bunch of problems leading up to the end of the month. And before we get into the rest of the country, I want to take a look at how much snowfall and rainfall y'all are going to be getting in on. And of course, before we get into that, let's go ahead and take a look at how much precipitation has fell so far up there in the Pacific Northwest. We can see upwards of close to almost a foot in some areas. Other areas getting in on close to 2 to 4 inches. So we're supposed to be getting in on even more rainfall on top of what's already fell out there, and most of this is even going to freeze as the cold front is going to be coming through and bringing a ton of snowfall. And of course, as far as observed snowfall goes, not much has occurred up there, mainly up here in the very far northern parts of Washington, but of course there's going to be a lot of snowfall occurring within the next couple of weeks. And as we take a look at the national blend of models here, this is all the way through the 27th, so maybe let's go ahead and back this up a tad. The 21st time frame, let's say. Right around 6,000 feet, of course, upwards of a foot to 2 possible up there. Of course, lower elevations are going to be coming in on a little less. Let's go ahead and zoom this in a tad here, and we can see where the most snowfall is going to be falling. And keep in mind that any sort of rainfall that's already fell is going to be freezing up there, so it's going to be very photogenic out there because there's going to be a lot of ice on top of the mountain, which is, I guess, good for taking photos, but of course very dangerous out there because it could result in some power outages, because we are going to be coming in on some high winds very soon. And as far as precipitation goes, it's going to be upwards of 2 to 4 inches of what's already fell out there, so some areas could come in on close to a foot of rainfall, and that's no joke, by the way. It's definitely going to be lots of problems out there. And what about the winds? We are going to be dealing with some high winds here very soon. You can see we are going to be dealing with close to 60 to 70 mile an hour winds on the 17th. And looks like it could be letting up a tad, but it's just looking like we're just going to be dealing with this atmospheric river for quite some time. Now, as I zoom out here, I'm going to take a look at this atmospheric river that's supposed to be occurring. You can see all the way through the 17th, we're going to be dealing with a lot of precipitation up here in Washington and Oregon and Northern California. And it's going to be converting over to snowfall here in Montana and even the Rockies as we head into the 17th time frame. Keep in mind, going to be dealing with upwards of 70-mile-an-hour winds in this area. Could result in some power outages out there. And looks like we could be coming in on a little bit of a break, unless you live up here in southern Canada and the very far northern and northwest parts of Washington. But don't be fooled, though. It's looking like the atmospheric river is going to be coming back as we head into the first day of winter and past the first day of winter. And it's just looking like this atmospheric river is just going to be keeping on, as there could be upwards of 1 foot to 2 snowfall, top of roughly almost 1 foot of rainfall. So definitely going to be resulting in a lot of problems out there. So definitely hunker down out there, as this has already wreaked havoc there. So now to beat the dead horse on the atmospheric river, and basically it's just going to be bringing a lot of problems y'all's way, as y'all have been dealing with enough here as of late because of this. Let's go ahead and get into the next couple of weeks for the rest of the country. And as we can see here, we are going to be coming in on some above normal temperatures here amongst much of the country as we head into Christmas time. So it's looking like, unfortunately, we're going to be a little bit warmer than normal here across the lower 48 as that fat man comes down that chimney, unfortunately. So what does that mean for our white Christmas? Well, most likely we're not going to be seeing a white Christmas here amongst the lower 48, but let's go ahead and take a look at that. Now, of course, we already know about the atmospheric river that's occurring out here in the Mountain West and Pacific Northwest. And it's looking like as we head into Thursday, we could be coming in on some severe weather here in the Ohio Valley and Tennessee Valley, as well as the Mid-South. Now, there's already a marginal risk issued here. We don't know what the main threats will be, but most likely all low-wind hazards will be possible, including tornadoes, high winds, and large hail, as this is looking to be driven by mainly wind shear and moisture from the Gulf, which is really all you need this time of year. And there's also some significant snowfall occurring up here by Wisconsin and Minnesota, and even parts of Michigan as well. Now, that'll be moving out as we head into weekend. Could be dealing with some lake effect snow up here in the Northeast. Still dealing with some atmospheric river conditions up here in the Rockies and Pacific Northwest, and just some pesky snow up here by Wisconsin and Minnesota. Could be coming into a zonal pattern as we head into the first day of winter here for the central and eastern part of the country, while the Mountain West is going to be just coming back into some atmospheric river conditions out there. Watch as we head into Christmas time. It's looking like we could be coming in on a very soggy Christmas Eve as Santa is preparing to come into the United States. It's looking like the eastern part of the country here in the Ohio Valley could be coming in on a very soggy one, while the Northeast could be dealing with some snowfall and icing over here by Pennsylvania. And of course, the Mountain West is still remaining in this atmospheric river. It's looking like a whole bunch of rainfall and snowfall is going to be just dumping over there. Upwards of 1 foot of snow possible out there. Higher elevations are going to be coming in on even more, as well as rainfall as well. There's going to be a lot of rainfall occurring, so definitely just a lot of problems occurring out there, basically what I'm trying to say here. But of course, heading over 200 some hours out, la la land when it comes to the models. But looking like as we head in towards the end of the month, we could be coming back into an active weather pattern with more flooding, severe weather potential, and even more snowfall here in the upper Midwest and Great Lakes, and just even more problems up here in the Pacific Northwest. So basically, so we take a look at the risk of heavy precipitation. We already know about the Pacific Northwest and really the West Coast coming in on heavy precipitation out there, right around 4 to 6 inches possible of rain out there. As far as snowfall goes, for the next couple of weeks, we see that much of the same story out there as well. There is a moderate risk to high risk of heavy snowfall here in the California mountains, so definitely be prepared for that. Could be dealing with a white Christmas out here in the Mountain West, so could be some excited kiddos out there. But as far as the white Christmas goes, as I head back to the weather models here and sort of rewind this, see roughly 7 o'clock in the morning, Christmas morning, it's looking like the Mountain West could be coming in on a white Christmas out there in some areas, mainly the higher elevations. Northeast, mainly in New York and parts of northern Pennsylvania, could be coming on a white Christmas, but it's looking like most of us won't be coming in on a white Christmas, unfortunately. But as we take a look at the National Blend of Models, to take a look at the snow totals, now we can see the areas that are going to be coming in on a white Christmas, mainly the higher elevations of the Rockies and the Northeast, and really the very far parts of the northern part of the country. You can see there's a little bit of a dusting here in the Ohio Valley, but I'm expecting some of this to melt between now and then, so looks like much of the country ain't going to be coming in on a white Christmas unless you live up here in the upper elevations of the Rockies or the very far northern parts of the Northeast, unfortunately. Now, what about the precipitation while we're at it? Of course, we already know about the Rockies, but what about the rest of the country? Well, it's looking like the eastern part of the country could be coming out on a lot of precipitation, as well as the Northeast. Now, some of this will be snowfall, so keep this in mind, but as we zoom in here, could come in on close to an inch to maybe 2 in some areas, so definitely coming in on a lot of precipitation here in the Ohio Valley between now and Christmas time. But there is no risk of heavy snowfall or rainfall to worry about here the next couple of weeks, at least for the eastern part of the country anyway. But the Rockies, Pacific Northwest, of course, y'all are going to be coming in on the jackpot, going to be resulting in a lot of problems out there on top of some heavy snowfall. So, onto the precipitation outlook by the Climate Prediction Center, we can see that it's looking like the central part of the country as we head into Christmas time could be coming in on well below average precipitation, all the way down here into the southeast as well, parts of the southwest, but of course the Rockies into the Pacific Northwest and the west coast can be coming in on well above average precipitation, obviously, because the atmospheric river it's occurring out there all the way through the end of the month. Head into the end of the month and into the new year potentially is looking much of the same story is going to be occurring. A little bit more of the Northeast coming in on above average precipitation, but it's looking like much of the country is heading to a below average precipitation pattern unless you live out here in the Rockies, Pacific Northwest, and West Coast. Now, what about the temperatures? Since we already know that much of the country is going to be heading into above normal temperatures as we head into Christmas time, Mother Nature is being a Scrooge this year, let's go ahead and get into that. Now, we will take a look at the temperature anomalies as well, as we have not taken a look at that in a good long time, but as we can see today, we are going to be thawing out here out east after coming in on some negative temperatures and a lot of snowfall. We came in on roughly 4 inches of snowfall here in southern Indiana, which was good to see, but I'll be glad to see it gone because I hate snow. But see today and tomorrow going to be thawing out significantly as we head into Thursday. You can see we got that warm air creeping up here into Indiana and Ohio. That's why we got that severe weather over the Ohio Valley and Tennessee Valley, which could result in a few tornadoes, hail, and high winds. And that's going to be getting out of our hair. Cold air is going to be coming back on the backside as we head into the 19th time frame. But it's looking like warm air is going to be coming back in as we head into the first day of winter. Could be heading into a little bit of a cooling trend, but watch as we head into Christmas Eve and especially into Christmas Day. We're going to be warming up drastically, y'all. Look at that. Close to 70 and 80 degree temperatures here in the Plain States, down here into the Ohio Valley. But it's looking like the Rockies and very far northern plains could be coming in on very chilly temperatures, and it's looking like that warm air is going to be lasting for quite a while as well, so definitely enjoy it. Of course, it's not going to be feeling like the holiday season. This is really when you want it to be cold out, is on Christmas, but of course Mother Nature's being a Scrooge and giving us warm temperatures and a not so white Christmas out here, unfortunately. But if you live out in the Mountain West and Northern Plains, then enjoy the cold air and snowfall, because it is going to be feeling like the holidays out there, and enjoy the holiday season out there, by the way. If you are coming in on the cold air, but because we're not going to be feeling like it out here, unfortunately. But as we head into the new year, we could be coming in on that bitterly cold air once again. So, again, leading up into Christmas time, it's looked like we could be heading into a significant warm-up here out east. Now, what about the temperature anomalies? Well, you see we're going to be coming in on above normal temperatures leading up into Thursdays when we have that severe weather threat here in the Ohio Valley and Tennessee Valley. Then we could be coming back into some below normal temperatures, which could result in some backside snow here in Indiana by this weekend, potentially. Above average here out west, but it's going to be flipping as we head into Christmas time. As you can see, we're going to be well above average from the Plain States all the way into Illinois and Indiana and the Ohio Valley. And it's looking to stick around. This could result in a lot of moisture buildup as well through the end of the month. And we're not going to be coming out of those above normal temperatures at least until the new year. So unfortunately, it's looking like it's going to be a little bit warmer than normal to end the month. Which, as we take a look at the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook by the Climate Prediction Center as we head into the new year, it's looking like much of the country is really going to be heading into an above average temperature trend unless you live up in the northwest and northeast. But this could also result in a lot of snowfall, as historical trends have shown that even though if we come in on a warm up and we come in on some cold air, there could be enough moisture there that could dump some significant snowfall somewhere here in the Midwest and Central Plains. So definitely keep that in mind. It can happen, and that could also result in more severe weather as well. But of course, I will be keeping my eye on that as of course this is subject to change. And as we take a look at the hazardous temperature outlook for the next couple of weeks, there is no hazards to speak of. So I guess that is some good news after we did come in on some bitterly cold air here as of late. But the main threat for the next couple of weeks is mainly the main focus is going to be here in the Mountain West and Pacific Northwest and West Coast, as y'all are just going to be coming in on a lot of heavy precipitation and some heavy snowfall, which is going to be resulting in a white Christmas out there. Although here out east, we ain't going to be coming in on a white Christmas because Mother Nature wants to be a Scrooge this year. So I hope y'all got a lot out of this video. If you did, please make sure you hit that like and share button so more folks are informed about the weather. And also, leave me some feedback in the comment section down below, as any feedback helps provide you, the viewer, better and more informative content in the future. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well, because at Here Wins the Weather, we try to make weather forecasting fun and informative. And I also have a Rumble channel if you want to go check that out as well. It's WilliamWX98. Greatly appreciate if you go follow that as well. So basically, what am I expecting for the next couple of weeks? Well, the Pacific Northwest and Rockies, I'm expecting it to just be very soggy and snowy out there and gusty, which could result in a lot of problems, as some atmospheric rivers could be dumping feet of snowfall as well as feet of rainfall as well. So definitely prepare for that, as y'all have been dealing with a lot of problems here as of late. As far as the white Christmas goes, looking like there's not going to be a white Christmas here out east. Unfortunately, Mother Nature's being a Scrooge this year, unless you live in the Rockies or very far parts of the Northeast. But enjoy the nice warm air though while it does last, because it's not going to be feeling like the holiday season. It's going to be feeling more like spring here out east. But the Mountain West, Northern Plains, and Northeast is going to be feeling like the holiday season out there. So again, regardless of the weather, get out there and enjoy the holiday season. And I will have an official white Christmas forecast up, most likely sometime next week, maybe earlier than that. I'll let y'all know though. But again, looks like we could be having another wild weather ride as we head into Christmas time and even past Christmas time, so stay tuned, y'all. And also, there is going to be some severe weather on Thursday here in the Ohio Valley, mainly on marginal risk, but still significant severe weather can still happen on low-end days, so keep that in mind. I will be keeping y'all posted on X and Facebook, so definitely stay tuned to those pages, as I will be keeping y'all updated on there. So again, like, comment, subscribe, enjoy the holiday season, y'all. Christmas is getting closer, and until next time, never stop forecasting.